Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this morning I had a video I recorded yesterday. I had the thumbnails all set to go. I had all the links set. I had a video, and you'll still see this, about Britney Spears and what she's demanding. And you'll still see that. But I was all set to download it this morning. I made it yesterday. Fourth video I made yesterday. And I came across a story that I just have to talk about. This is one of the stories that had me so angry right now that I could feel my heart pounding and my hands shaking. Seriously. This is a story that just came up since Tuesday. It's an interview with DUANE the dog CHAPMAN and his wife, Francine Fain. I got so many notes here. I came across this story initially on TMZ, and I started reading it, and I just got so disgusted. I have to talk about this. Because I have... I'll get to that more in a second. And it scares me too, because I see family members being brainwashed by the right-wing media, and I know this is happening because I hear the same exact talking points that DUANE the dog CHAPMAN is saying in this that I hear from family members lately. All right, let me just start at the beginning here. This is an interview that happened Tuesday. DUANE the dog CHAPMAN and his wife Francine Fain. They were being interviewed by Christian televangelist Cheryl Barrera I think it's on her Facebook channel. And all right, let me sum this up here. DUANE is talking about people. He mentions people playing church and holy rollers. What I have no idea what he's talking about. But he's angry. He's disgusted with Dylan Mulvaney. And he's citing biblical references. He's saying, we don't need no more sissies. We need manliness. And he cites some references from Jesus flipping over. I remember reading this. Jesus flipping over. There was people selling in the church, and he flipped over the tables. And DUANE compares this to what the stuff he says he wants to do if he runs into Dylan Mulvaney, which it's so messed up. It got me so angry this morning. There's people I see every day on Facebook and other platforms talking about turning away from Christianity specifically because of hypocritical people like this, like DUANE the dog CHAPMAN. So then he goes even further. He says that if he ever runs it, he starts talking about Target losing billions of dollars and pride cometh before a fall. Pride. Look, I'm guilty of pride too. The hair and the tan and the muscles and everything. But look at, I'm not whipping out Bible verses to tell other people about pride. Look at him with his shirt down to here. I used to have some respect for this guy because I saw the way that he talked to, I saw his channel, his show sometimes. And the one thing I respected about him was the way he talked to addicts. He had been through that himself. And I've lost all that respect for him now. So anyway, he talks about pride cometh before a fall. And this is the part that just blows me away. He says how Jesus was manly and we don't need no more sissies. And if he runs into Dylan Mulvaney, he's going to give him 2 black eyes and drop him. Okay, so this is manliness. This is manliness. This is big, hulking, intimidating, muscle-bound, octogenarian wanting to beat up on somebody that has done nothing to him, a woman, a trans woman, who he knows would never lift a finger, would never even defend, probably never defend herself. And he calls this manliness. To me, that is the exact opposite of manliness. And I thought about conformity again. It's like these people get these right-wing news media. I see this with my family too. They spin this in such a way, I'll get that in more in a second, the whole pride thing and the whole transgender thing. I'll talk about that more in 1 second. But they get people all bent out of shape and scared. It's the conformity, the pack mentality. These are all beta males, by the way. These are all betas. And their alpha is Donald Trump. Their initial, their cult leader, their alpha is Donald Trump. And these are all betas. And if they see anybody getting out of line or acting, that's another thing. This reminded me of the way some people talk about black people. I've heard Caucasian people say before, well, he's one of the good ones. And when they say that, they're talking about black people that act and talk and, for all intents and purposes, act like Caucasian people. And because they say he's one of the good ones. And it reminded me of this. They are terrified when anybody else is just proud of who they are and doesn't hide who they are. And that's what Pride Month is all about. It's not about somebody saying they're better than somebody else or they want more rights than somebody else. They're saying that, look, I'm tired of hiding who I am and being afraid of people like Dwayne the Dog Chapman. That's what all Pride, they misinterpret this whole Pride Month. They make it sound like, oh, these people, they want more, they're better than everybody else and they want more rights. No, and they get this from these Fox News and these right-wing channels. And I see this happening with my family, misinterpreting, just spinning everything wrong. So yeah, he's going to be he's demonstrating his manliness by beating up on a person who would never even lift a finger to him. He knows would never be a threat to him. To me, that is the exact opposite of manliness. And like I was saying, this pack mentality. Then they see the LGBTQ community being proud of who they are, and it scares them because they're not conforming to the pack mentality. Their leader, their follower, their alpha, Donald Trump, was the initial one. Now we have Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy, and they're pseudo alphas or betas. I don't know, first betas and second betas. That's really how I look at these people. They're betas. Dwayne the Dog Chapman is nothing but he ain't no man. I'll tell you that. He is not no man. All right. So, like I said, these right-wing media outlets spin this. And look, I'm a straight guy, but I read. I've always loved reading. I like reading everything, from stuff I agree with to stuff I don't agree with, so I get a whole picture of everything. And like I said, this pride thing, they're misinterpreting it. Every time I hear people like Dwayne Chapman and people from my family that watch Fox News, they talk about wanting more rights. And then this is the part that drives me crazy, because this personally involves me. They talk about how these people are dangerous to under 18-year-old age people. I have to kind of put it that way. And they spin it like, they're coming after, or that they're turning kids trans. That's not what's happening here. If you actually read and read any of this, like I said, it gets me so angry, because I'll say it again. What happened to me when I was a kid, from 11 to 14 years old. The man that assaulted me, that did this stuff to me, the most terrible thing you could think of for a man to do to a boy, he did that for 4 years, and he was a supposedly straight policeman. We were decorated policeman, straight. And he did this behind my mother's back, until I finally told her when I was like 35 years old. I finally came out and told my whole family what this guy did to me. It wasn't a trans person. It wasn't somebody reading trans stories in a library. It was a straight guy, and that is the percentage shows that. There's links. Look it up. The percentage of people that mess with kids are straight family members, family friends. Only 10% of people that do this are strangers. So this is completely misinterpreted, and it gets me so angry. And on top of this, he's citing Jesus, talking about Jesus doesn't want sissies. Jesus wants him to go beat up on Dylan Mulvaney. I can't wrap my head around this. And then again, like I said, I see people actually turning away from Christianity. So if you really want to talk about evil influencing somebody, who's it influencing? The people that are just tired of being picked on and just are trying to be who they are. Like I said, the way I've read and understand this, the trans things, the trans situation is, people are born. Sometimes people are born from as young as they can remember, and they don't feel like they fit into their body. So to the point where they actually think about ending their life or messing around with substances abuse, because they have this. I don't understand it. I've never gone through it, but I believe it's true. People, they're not changing. They're not finding like some 12-year-old kid playing baseball and saying, well, why don't you wear a dress like us? It's cool. That's not what's happening here. This is scientifically, medically, biologically, none of this is true. It's all just fear-mongering. And the way they spin this pride thing. I thought about this too. If I came on here, just theoretically, and these people, they hang in this pack mentality where they just swarm around other people that hate. Now watch, Dog is going to become so popular over the next few days because he said this. That's what I'm saying. If I switched, I never would, but if all of a sudden I started saying the same thing Dog's saying, I guarantee you I would have 10, 20, 50,000 views tomorrow or the next day. Because these people swarm. It's that beta pack mentality. They're not alphas. They're not manliness. This isn't manliness. It's the opposite of manliness. Manliness is having tolerance and understanding for other people, especially people that you know that you are physically, I'll say physically superior, like fight-wise. You know, to say that he would do this to Dylan Mulvaney in the name of Jesus. And he literally says this, 2 black eyes, and drop him if he sees him. And this is a manly man. You gotta be freaking kidding me. You people, just read. Do some real research instead of constantly watching Fox News and One America. You're being brainwashed. You're not in reality. You are in a hate cult. There's so much more I want to say. I knew this was going to happen. I guess because, like I said, I have a personal piece in this. What happened to me, and I see these people just blatantly lying about. Like I said, I'm a straight guy, but I see these people, and it does disservice and injustice to people like me, because they're hiding the people. They're steering people away from the people that are actually committing these crimes and these atrocities, and they're pointing out people who have nothing to do with it and hating on them and talking about punching them in the eye. And so they're covering up for the people like the cop that dated my mom. He gets a free pass and gets to keep doing it because everybody else is looking at trans people. It drives me crazy, man. I'm probably going to lose monetization on this video, but I had to talk about this. Go ahead. If you disagree with me, I would love to have a debate with somebody on this, because like I said, it happened to me. Leave me your comments. The Britney Spears video will be coming up. Have a good Thursday.